So what's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to answer a question that I've been getting quite a bit, actually, and that is why we are doing pasture ducks. Okay, why we have our ducks out on pasture, because for the most part when you see a setup similar to this, it's with chickens. You know, this is based off of Joel Salatin's Millennium Feather Net, to where, you know, the chicken, he has 1,000 chickens. I think it's 3 nets with his Millennium Feather Net. It's their chicken house kind of thing, okay? And that's what I was actually building on the boat trailer before I decided, okay, you know what? These are ducks, these aren't chickens. They don't necessarily need to go up at night. They like to go under stuff. So I just left the boat trailer flat, and you know what? It's been working out beautifully. So how I'm running these ducks is using this boat trailer. So the boat trailer moves one length every day. And inside this is 160-foot, you know, sheep and goat netting that they've been staying in beautifully. If you guys didn't see the video where they were getting out the first day, you know, I'll put a link to that up here. That was a lot, but now they learned. No issues, none of them have gotten out. They're all staying in. They're like, okay, we like it in here. We're near our boat trailer, we have our food, we have our little mini kiddie pool pond. They're happy, they're not going anywhere. So we're moving this one trailer length a day, and it's coming out to be, it looks like about 1 week per net setup. So I can move the boat trailer around 7 times. Could probably do it a little bit more if I want to get like real technical with it, but you know what? But I want to get them off the grass into new pasture, you know, as soon as possible, because that's always best. So could I push it to 10 days? Yeah, I probably could. But you know what? This right now, working out great. So we're gonna go about once a week. We're gonna go about 7 moves around the paddock here, the little, you know, the netting enclosure, if you want to call it. And then we're gonna set up another net that we have, and we're gonna move them into there, which should be interesting. So how we're managing this is that we have 12 ducks and 2 geese. The ducks weigh on average probably 5-6 pounds each. So it's 6 pounds times that by 12, which gives you a number of 72. Plus 2 about 20-pound geese, so we're gonna go plus 40. It gives us 112 pounds of, you know, animal. It's 112 pounds of animal in this paddock for 7 days. So that gives us a number of 784. So we're rounded up to 800. So what we're doing is we're replicating in this little area here the impact of one 800-pound cow. So that's how you have to look at it. You have to translate that into animal units, and they'll do the same amount of trampling on the pasture as one 800-pound cow in that 7 days. So when you look at this paddock here, you can see this is where they haven't been. This is where they have been for, this is day now number 6. You can see that does look different. It does look different. A lot of it has been, you know, trampled down. You can see, you know, some of it has been ate down, because the ducks do get roughly about 60% of their diet. They can get 60% of their diet from the forage. The geese are almost basically at 100%. So you can see that there is some impact, you know, especially where the boat trailer was the last couple days, because that's where they like to hang out for, you know, during the heat of the day, and then at night to, you know, stay away from predators and whatnot. You can see that there's you know, an impact there from the ducks, and that is great, because that is just pure nitrogen that's going right onto the ground. So in about probably 2 weeks, when this recovers, because, you know, right now we got the Bermuda grass growing like crazy, this is going to be greener than this. Why? Just the amount of nitrogen that we're putting on the ground. These ducks here, they're really smart. They're actually really smart, and I like it because they all stick together. They'll just hang out underneath the boat trailer. But you can see what they're doing. That's a weed right there. I don't know exactly the name of the weed, but look at that bottom portion of that weed. It's eaten. Why? Because either the ducks or the geese got a hold of it and ate it. That helps me. Why? Because the cows won't eat that. The cows will not eat that. They just bypass it. Same thing there. You can see the bottom portion has been eaten. The cows just won't touch it. The llamas just won't touch that stuff. They don't like it. They don't think it tastes good. It might end up being poisonous to them. Not poisonous to the ducks, because, you know, it's just, things are different. But if the ducks and the geese can turn that into something productive, I'm good with it. I'm 100% good with it. So the boat trailer here, where their little house is, their little shelter is, that's where the majority of their manure is going to be concentrated. There's 2 areas where the majority of their manure is going to be concentrated. Under the boat trailer, because that's where they sleep, and then by their little kiddie pool. This is where they swim around and splash around in. Okay, This right here, you can see right around here. I move this every other day I've been doing, because you know that's still full with water the second day. Today we're gonna dump that out and move it. But you can see right around there, there's a lot more impact, which is great. A lot of the weeds, look at that. I don't know what kind of weeds those are. I don't like them because, you know, like I said, the cows and everything else won't touch them. Those are trampled down more. Those are ate more because they're next to the kiddie pool. So I'm probably gonna move the kiddie pool from now on next to those types of weeds in the rest of the pasture. So when we go there, I'll probably go next to that and see if the ducks will eat that. The cows will eat the tops of it, but you know, it's still not very good. So we're gonna concentrate the kiddie pool and the boat trailer on the weeds to see, okay, can the ducks help improve the pasture for the cows? And I'm thinking yes. I am 100% thinking yes, especially after seeing this. Now we've had the ducks since March when they started hatching out. Lucky Ducky and you know, the rest of the crew came after. But they've only been in this setup here for 6 days, and so far so good. It's, you know, just a very small sample size. But when they came out of the brooder, they went to our other pasture up there inside our old chicken tractors. So I want to show you what the impact has been from when they moved in those chicken tractors. Let's go take a look. So this is where the ducks were before we got the geese to protect them, okay? This is our old chicken tractor that we ran the chickens in last year that worked out perfectly. A little bit heavy, we built it differently, just lighter, but this worked out perfectly for the ducks. And what we did is we moved them every day, 8 feet, all around this pasture here. You know, we had to do some zigzagging because, you know, we will run into a tree or something like that. But that's how we raised them in this chicken tractor. So this here has had a week's worth of rest, and you can see it's starting to come back. So they were here a week ago. So now we'll go back in time and see where the pasture has had more time to recover. You can see right here, this is the lane that they went on. You can totally see it actually from this angle. You go right here. That's where one side of the chicken tractor was. That's where the other was. Okay, so let's take a better, deeper look, okay? Look at this. Right here, when we're standing right in this little runway area here that we have, you can totally see that there's a difference in color. There's a difference in height too, because the ducks did eat the grass, so the grass has to grow back, and this grass over here had a head start. So there's a difference in height. But when you look at the thickness, you look at the lushness, you look at the fullness. We'll go back to where they were about 2 weeks ago, because then you really can see it's had time to recover. Okay, and this is approximately about 2 weeks. This is darker. This is darker and it's thicker. You know, you can come over here and you see, you know, there's bare spots. This is thick because it's Bermuda. But you come over here and you see the impact that the ducks did. And I don't know if it shows up on camera too well. It is absolutely thicker. It's lush, it's better. It's just, you know, there's more diversity coming up, because you can see plants like that weren't growing up too much in the areas that, you know, it wasn't. Because, you know, the Bermuda grass, it's great. It's great because, you know, it's high in protein for the cows. They love it. But the thing is that you don't want a solid stand of this stuff, you know, because anything that's a monoculture is no good. You know, you have some of the dead weeds, the dead cool season weeds that the cows didn't touch. And for the most part, you look around here, it's kind of all Bermuda, especially in this paddock here, which I'd like to change. You know, there's some I think this might be Bahia, but there's some diversity. But you come over here, and like this type of plant here, this is only growing up where the ducks were. There's more cover, there's more broadleaf stuff where they were, and you can see it right there. You know, the light might be affecting it a little bit. You can see right there, it's thicker. See, over here is where they were 3 weeks to a month ago, and you can see, you can probably still see the lane. It went right here. It went right there against the electric wire that we have. And there's more of this grass is growing up. It's just, anytime you have animal impact, and the right amount is the main thing, the right amount. You know, you're gonna see, you know, disturbance that's gonna activate other plants. You know, you're gonna bring back more of the native prairie. So you can see where we stopped. There's a good line right there. where, you know what, we didn't want to move farther because there was a tree right there. So we went that way and we started going down there. I mean, you can see a big difference. I don't know, you know, what the names of all these different kinds of grasses are, but that's a great one to have. Why? Because I know that I've seen the cows eat grass like that in other places. Look, it's just growing back fuller, better, and just, you know, this works. Moving the animals every day works. It's just better for them because then, you know, the parasites, it's the same thing with the cows, with the ducks. After 12 days, those parasites are there. Guess what? They're not touching them. Why? Because when they were back there in the chicken tractor, you go back 12 days, put them somewhere right around there, the parasites are there, the ducks are there, they don't get them. That's why we don't medicate, we don't give them any kind of, like, you know, we haven't had a sick duck yet, we haven't had any issues. Why? Moving away from their parasites, they're eating fresh grass, which is great for them. They're eating, you know, the ducks will go eat all the bugs and grubs and everything. And we haven't even gotten to the part where, okay, when we want to maybe eat the ducks, you know, the males will probably eat those. And then the females, they lay eggs. The difference in pastured, you know, eggs, we haven't had any here on the farm yet, but I've seen it from multiple different people, multiple different sources, 1,000,000% different. And why is that? Doesn't matter if it's chicken eggs, doesn't matter if it's duck eggs, goose eggs, all the above. This is what they're eating. This is what they're eating. They're able to get, you know, they're able to live like a duck, go get a bug like a duck. But in that same respect, if it looks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, but it doesn't get to live like a duck, it's not going to produce something like a natural duck would. That's why when you crack open an egg from the supermarket, that yolk is kind of yellow, light yellowish. When you crack open a pastured egg, it's orange, almost red. Why? Because they're living like a duck, they're living like a chicken, they're living like a goose, they're living like a turkey. That's the way it's supposed to be. So needless to say that ducks on pasture, so far so good. It's doing great things for where they were in the chicken tractors, and where they are now seems to be working. It seems to be doing the same thing. I really like ducks because of their feet too. They trample, they trample, they trample. They don't scratch like a chicken would. Because around here in East Texas, we have a problem with this right here. This is called goatweed, or woolly croton if you want to use the scientific example. This stuff is a nightmare. It's kind of invasive, and we don't like it. And where that stuff likes to grow is on disturbed ground. So with the ducks, they trample, they trample, they trample, they trample. You know, they use their web feet and they flop around. A chicken will scratch. Here, I don't know if we necessarily want the scratching. Sure, where we ran chickens last year was actually in this field, you know, in the chicken tractors. Was there a bigger abundance of goatweed? No, but there was still some. We did stuff to get rid of it. You know, we pulled it, we scythed it, we mowed it. We're just doing everything to start to get rid of it, and so far so good. But the ducks here, we don't have to worry about any scratching going on, which is a really good thing. Because if we were to put, you know, chickens on a very poor piece of, you know, pasture, I suspect that they would end up, you know, maybe stimulating the woolly croton, the goatweed to come up, which we don't want. But these ducks here, they're eating the weeds, they're living their life out on pasture the way they're supposed to. They have their kiddie pool so they can get in the water, and you know what? They're as happy as can be. And the goose, we're naming one of them Moose, by the way. That's Nicole. She wanted to name a goose named Moose. Think about you know, think about a name for the other one. But they've been doing a great job protecting. You know, we have owls, we have hawks flying over like crazy all the time. They don't mess with these guys. Why? Look at them. They're like 20 pounds, and you know, they have you know, almost a 6-foot wingspan. They're pretty big. So the ducks and chicken tractors, that's making the grass grow up a lot better. I suspect it's going to be the same thing, just maybe on a, you know, lesser scale, because it's not as much impact on one area. But because they have a bigger area to roam around, they're able to pick up more spiders, more crickets, more bugs, more worms, and everything. So it's going to up their protein content. So the eggs that they produce, so the meat that they produce, it's going to be better. Now I just can't wait to get our first duck egg, which should be happening pretty soon, because it takes about 16 weeks, and they are right around that time. So anytime that I'm moving this this boat trailer, I'm going to be looking for a duck egg. So That's gonna be pretty cool. So ducks on pasture are 100% go. They're doing good things. They're eating the weeds that the cows don't eat, and they're helping improve the field by putting nitrogen all over the place. So if you want to see more videos like this, to see more experiments like this that we're doing, you know, with the boat trailer, with the ducks, moving them around, because it hasn't really been done before, hit that subscribe button down below, ring the notification bell so you get notified when we put up new videos. Hit the like button because it really does help with the YouTube algorithm, and drop a comment if you like. Alright? Till next time. See ya.